And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and off to the races we go for a Monday morning. Today is September 11th. Of course, we should never forget what today is all about. Now, I know they told you to take it off your TV, and you shouldn't look at that. And, well, after only 22 years, I'm ashamed to say that there are some Americans who have forgotten. Let's not. We're going to talk about all that coming up this morning beginning at 7 o'clock. I hope you'll join us. A sombrance day of remembering those who lost their lives in this tragic day. It is Monday, as we said, and it feels kind of weird outside. 67 degrees. Now, it will warm up today to about 94. Tomorrow is going to be 92-ish. And then the trend, or should we say the tide, changes as we'll start seeing highs only in the 80s for at least 2 weeks. Nearing October, we hope that it stays. That's for sure. We'll keep our fingers crossed. We want the best of weather that can come about, don't we? Let's check in. Let's get a good word to start this day. Let's go to Collinsville to the First Baptist. Brother Ben's got something to say, and I hope you'll listen.
Are you going to heaven? Well, if you've turned from your sin and trusted in Christ as your Savior and Lord, then you undoubtedly are, and praise God for that. But for those of us who are going to heaven, does it bother you that some of your friends, family, and neighbors are going to hell? I'm not asking for the Sunday school answer here. I mean, seriously, does it really bother you? It sure bothered Apostle Paul. He said that he had great sorrow and unceasing anguish in his heart that many of the people who were around him were going to hell. He was so burdened that he said he was willing to go to hell himself if it meant that they would go to heaven. Do you have great sorrow and unceasing anguish in your heart over the losses around you? We should. Are you so burdened for your loved ones that you would be willing to go to hell yourself if it meant that they would go to heaven? I mean, here's the good news. You both can go to heaven. You just have to be burdened enough about their eternal destiny to actually share the bad news of their sin and the good news of how Jesus Christ can save them from their sin. That's how we'll know if you're really bothered, if you're really burdened about their lostness. When you actually try to see them saved. That's what Apostle Paul did, and so should we. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back. Hope we all got something out of that. Always good to know the good word. All right, as we start today, some things that are shaping America, as we start looking at a few of the headlines across. Michigan State has suspended their head football coach. I don't know if everybody's aware of this. Harassment allegations. And, of course, they are allegations. So many times allegations end up being true. So keep in mind with everything, innocent until proven guilty. You never know. We'll see what becomes of that. If you were in... This is one of those where you give it the who cares test. I know that he is an icon. He was big. And I'm talking about the boss, Bruce Springsteen. He's made some comments politically that I would have rather not ever read. And he's very, what's the word, left of where I am in thinking in America. But still nonetheless, I know that he has made his mark in music and is big. And if you were planning one of his concerts, we're finding out now why he had canceled so many. Ulcers. He'd gotten sick with those, so he had to postpone concerts because of that. I'm not kidding. If I'm right here, he's over here. I'm, just down the middle. And he thinks way different than I do. Maybe different from you. Still got to give him credit for what he's done. An influencer, and I don't consider an influencer that only has 30,000 followers an influencer, but they're putting that as the headline. Why? Well, she's being sent to jail. Oh, yeah, she made up a bunch of things. And we're seeing more of this. How many years has it taken? 3, 4? COVID. All of those that lied and said, I got all of this, and then they used the money for something else. Uncle Sam is calling and sending people to jail. But again, I really don't think 34,000 is an influencer, is it?
No, not yet.
Yeah, that's what, as Odie sits, where is Odie? There's Odie. Odie says, no, not at 30,000. Not yet. Just my 2 cents on that. But she will pay a little fine there, and a little jail time is what her fine will be. This one, has America not learned its lesson? As we got into this pandemic back in 2020, if you'll remember, you'd go to the store to get something, if you could get in the store, and it wasn't there. The shelves were empty. Ford and Chevrolet trucks sat on racetracks with no chips in them for years. There was no way to produce them. And then came the other big shortage that America needed. That was medication. Now, you don't necessarily have to be elderly to need your medication. There are all different types of things that you have to have medication for. High blood pressure, and that begins at an early age. You don't have to be elderly for that. But they're already seeing shortages. And my whole spiel about this is we need to make and manufacture all of this in America. Have we not learned our lesson? We have other countries that pull our shoestrings, and they can. It's time for somebody to get some big boy britches on and make some choices for America that's best for the land of the free and those who pay taxes. But we don't have that, do we? Boy, we'll get into whatever that was that happened this weekend in a speech to where they turned his mic off and said, "Come on, Mr. President, come on back in." What was those puppets on Captain Kangaroo? It's almost like that. Behind the counter they are. They talk for him. They do everything. He went off into a tangent about John Wayne and Indians that had nothing to do with where he was. Paleface. He was into the paleface spiel.
He didn't know where he was.
He really did know where he was, as Odie just, but he honestly did not. And it's a shame. This is the highest office in the world. The most respected office there is. Now, I can see where people go, well, you're not giving both sides. Oh, yes, I am. Trump was in there. His decisions that ruffled all the feathers was he made a decision for the country, good or bad, however you liked it. What is going on now is it's just simply embarrassment, because I don't think at times he knows where he is. And the next thing,
McConnell ain't got it.
no, McConnell doesn't either. Feinstein doesn't. We have a bunch of leaders that have passed their time and can't make decisions quickly, and, well, they've lost it. We all know that. Can we prove that on paper? No, because they have little doctors that come up behind them and go, oh, they're fine. Yeah, and I believe that too. And I'm sure you're not fooled either. Just our 2 cents on that this morning. Let's see what else is happening across America. Jason Aldean. This is, and I posted this just a moment ago. Of course, we all know that song, Try This in a Small Town. Well, they did try it in a small town. They said they're going to do it in large towns and other towns, as they went to a Jason Aldean concert in Chicago over the weekend and lit up the American flag. Communists did it on American soil. Burn the American flag. Read all about it. We've got the story posted right below this. If you get a chance, read that. Upsetting. Here on American soil. If they are truly American citizens that are doing this, and I'm not sure who they are or what they are, just some group that says they're communists, they need to be removed and sent to a country where they can exercise that right of what they want. My 2 cents. Maybe you agree, maybe you don't. All the way from Russell this morning, Lisa, how are you feeling there? Glad to see you there. Ann is up. Also, Ramit, how are you today? Vicki Stewart, good morning to you. All the way from Decatur, Kathy Spears. We've got your forecast next. We'll get into all of that in just a moment as we start this day.
Need an expert to repair a rock peck or cracked windshield? Call Advanced Auto Glass by Joey for quality workmanship and customer service. Convenient same-day service, as well as in-house calibration for vehicle safety systems. Reliable mobile service is available in Clark, Kemper, Neshoba, Lauderdale, and Newton counties for all cars, trucks, and heavy equipment. Book your appointment today for custom tinting. It can reduce temps, fading, glare, and more. Improve the safety and enhance the appearance of your vehicle today with services from Advanced Auto Glass by Joey.
Summertime has arrived, and Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 has the exact lawnmower for your need. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres to mow, they have a mower for that. No matter the size yard you have, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. From 48-inch all the way up to 60, or the X-Mark lawnmower. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Drop in today to Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, see coleslaw or buttermilk. Well, if things have gotten a little blurry in your life and you finally make your way down to the doctor, take your prescription by and see Grayson Optical and you type glasses and frames that you're looking for. Located there on 24th Street coming into to Meridian. You can't miss them there. Great folks. They've been around since, I believe, 96 doing this. Yeah, 96. Custom eyeglasses that fit you, any style, frame that you may be looking for. And they take the time to show you. It's not one of those here, this is what you get. They've got a lot to choose from. Locally owned and operated is what makes it even better there. And why does that make a difference? Because it's a handshake. The person that you're looking at owns it. That's what makes the difference instead of box stores that, well, you don't know who does and they don't really care. When you've got something vested, they're going to make sure that you're happy. They work hard for their money for you. See them today. Get the eyeglasses that suit you at a great affordable price, even include sunglasses. So the next time that you need a pair of glasses and need frames, whatever the case is, drop into Grayson, see them, 2021 24th Avenue, or call them at 693-6374. They'll be glad to help you. Good folks right here in the Meridian area. Somebody said, when is the next rain? I'm not sure I have an answer for that. My. The rain. So, all right, let's see here. Are we getting ready? All right, let me get this pulled up. We'll be right back, and we're going to do your forecast next. We'll be right back to do that.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Every event starts with a great grill, great cookware, and accessories. Add in some locally sourced meat and dairy, along with frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, daybeds, and have fun with our cornhole boards. From coolers to trailers, we have everything you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the Back Porch.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Well, those record highs and record lows, it was 2002 that it was 100. Can you believe that was 21 years ago? Yeah, that shocks me to no end. 1976, a low of 46 today set on this record. As we glance across Meridian, should hit 93 to 94 today, a little cooler in Philadelphia. Northward, we make it to Columbus, hovering at that 90-degree mark. And as you'll look at most of Mississippi, except for Eupora on the extreme northern portion, are in the 90s. All of that will change in a day or so. As we look across to Demopolis, 92, Tuscaloosa, the same, and 89 starting to hit in Birmingham. Could see some light showers there in that eastern side of Bama, including Auburn today. Keep that in mind. Now, we are not out of the woods yet when it comes to wildfires. This is extremely important. Do not burn. We're still under a burn ban here. They're getting close to expire, but they haven't yet. As you'll see here, most of all of Lauderdale County and Newton County and portions of Kemper and Neshoba County under this, Clark County, all of y'all are under this. So don't burn just yet. Hang off a little bit before you start burning those brush piles. As we look at this, what is this across Mississippi? At least the northern portion from central northward is cooler, and we'll start to see that about Wednesday of this week. As we see that here is the forecast for the next 7 days, 0% chance of rain today, 10, and we do get up to a 20% headed toward the weekend, but I wouldn't bet the farm on it. We might see a sprinkle. Nothing heavy or anything like that. But by Wednesday, we're at 87. Look at Thursday and Saturday, 86, 85. None of those are bad weather days. Kind of perfect there. Even 86 on Sunday there. Now, as we go for another week into this, we're going to remain in the 80s all the way up through about the 24th to the 25th before we start seeing that 90-degree mark. Maybe that'll change. That's 2 weeks out. But as you'll see this, our biggest chance of rain is not coming until the 25th. That's at 24%. That's not a lot. So it's dry, and that's why those burn bans are still acting up. Now, as we go to the National Hurricane Center this morning, we see that Lee still remaining a Cat 3, 121 miles an hour. Millibars are 950. Margaret, she's moving along as a tropical storm, 63 miles an hour. Those millibars at 996. Now, we've got another one developing here at 50% shot of making it into a storm. 10% chance of this newly developed off the coast of Africa. Now, we're watching this closely as this could, we'll look at it on radar in a minute. It could hit Maine, it could go into Canada, or it could turn to the right. It's a lot to be determined on this storm as of yet. We'll look at that on radar in just a second with the spaghetti models. As we look at fishing times, what's the best today? 10:30 is the time to be there till 12:30. You get another shot late tonight after dark, 11 o'clock. Minor time beginning at 6 o'clock after you get off work. The wind's going to be calm, becoming east around 5 miles an hour this morning. You can find all that and more out on those boats. Hope you enjoy yourself while you're fishing. Now, as I promised, let's go back and pull up a radar here of what we've got going on with the hurricanes. Here's what we have from Meridian Honda radar. This is at a Category 3 this morning. It will move back into a 4 by Wednesday. And if you'll look at this, it's really undetermined where this will go. This could go to Maine, but most likely all models are showing this turning more to the right and going into Canada, Nova Scotia, and these areas here. No major threat to the coastline of the states. Not as of yet. Margaret, she's out here way to the east, not going to mess with anyone in the Atlantic. Here's the concern, and we got some systems that are developing again off the coast of Africa that haven't done anything just yet. But that's where we are on this. Now, odds are if you're betting, it's going toward Canada instead of the United States. We'll watch it. But look at all of that fog we got in Kentucky, up through the Carolinas, and into West Virginia this morning. If you're a truck driving man, watch this. Be careful in those areas. A lot of ups and down hills and hard to see around those curves. Been there, done that, so to speak. We hope you got a smile. We're 13 minutes before the top of the hour, which means we'll go live at 7 with the morning show. Odie is ready. He's reading up on everything. A lot of recaps of what went on over the weekend. A lot of good times. Fellowship. Good things that happened over the weekend. We'll tell you all about that coming up on the way there. Good morning to so many of you up and shuffling this morning, getting your day started there. Bob, how are you? Good to see you there. Lisa, Debbie, many, many others. We'll be back at the top of the hour.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.